Faith Academy?
Personally, or which way
Well,
you want
if
to approach
you
this
talk about
thing?
personally, that's fine, but, either one.
Whatever works.
I think I would tell you I think we got the possibilities of being a good football team, and I'd say right behind that you know, being in this nine-team region, and you know, we understand what's at stake. We can be really good. We could have the best team we've ever had and stay at the house. So, you know, it's going to be that kind of season.
Speaking of 5A Region 1, you know, you've had some success in there, but adding those other teams, you know, having a young quarterback and all that coming up, how hard do you think that might be on those kids' development?
Well, it's going to be hard, but we got faith in them, and you know, we know they're gonna come around. They've been waiting their turn, and you know, you raise a good point. I mean, it's some awful good newcomers in our region, and so, but you know, a lot at stake. But I think we're gonna give a lot of effort.
Coach, last year you had 3 close ball games in your losses. I think it kind of helped you in the playoffs, showing that if you do those little things right, you're 1 or 2 plays away from having those wins. Do you continue to preach that during this season right here, looking at those close losses and how you guys were able to rectify that, going into correcting it to possibly your best team at Faith Academy since you've been the coach there?
Well, sure, but understand, the year before we had 3 close wins. You know, it always kind of works out on that kind of thing. Some people, I think, get, you know, they do well, they get the upper hand on that. But you know, most of us, you know, it's sort of a 50-50 proposition. But that's what people love. You know, we love that close contest that comes right down to the wire. And you know, we got to get to where we love them, but for a different reason. You know, we want to stay on the good end if we can, and I believe we can do that. You know, we just we got to keep ourselves out of harm's way, because we play against some folks who understand what football is all about.
Coach, you alluded to earlier about a 9-team region now in 5A Region 1, and at Baker you played in a 9-team region. So now week 1 is you're starting region play. How do you emphasize to your players the importance? I know it's a one game at a time mentality, but how do you emphasize to them the importance of literally every week could be a playoff game for them? Well,
it really comes down, it's more minute than that. It finally comes down to, you know, what am I going to do right now, this play, when they snap the ball. You know, you got to get that kind of mentality. And that sounds pretty easy, but very few people do it. So we hope we're going to have enough of them that do that we can counteract maybe, you know, the number of so many. You're going to have to play a lot of good teams. It's going to, like, no rest for the weary, getting ready for another good one next week. And that you know, and it's right upon us, you know. Yeah. As I left them a while ago, and I told the rest of them, I said, you know, we got to hurry up and take care of our business, because next week being dead week, and then we start, you know. And that's the earliest I've ever started a football season in my life. So it came around early. All those things that we did that week after dead week, that's no more. We got to figure out a way to get it done pretty much now.
What do you feel like the strength of the team might be?
Say that again.
What do you feel like the strength of your team might be this year?
Well, you know, we feel pretty good about all our skill stuff. We got good running backs, we got good receivers. We got a good quarterback, even though, you know, people haven't seen him a lot yet. But we feel pretty strong about our secondary. You know, all those kinds of things are probably, you know, I guess our strength, our natural strength. But we, in the past, what we won on is people like this, like Damare, you know, and those guys, and he's been one of them for a long time, and, but, you know, we've graduated a lot of great linemen since I've been there, and finally we've graduated them where there's not any just like them right behind them. There's some good ones, but, they're in the 9th grade, and, what Coach Bryant say? For every offensive lineman you start as a sophomore, chalk up one loss. So, you know, we would not like to unless he's just outstanding, as I told him a while ago. In every class that we've got at Faith Academy right now, there's a guy, at least one, who can say, I was a 9th grade starter. And, you know, so if he's good enough, we've proven we'll put him on the field.
You playing Alma Bryant in that jamboree game.
Right.
How important is that jamboree game for the younger kids?
Well, and in that, you know, we need a segment that's just gonna be JV guys. It's pretty important. That's why, you know, they're getting reps right now. And, so it's important to them, but it's also important to every other level. All our varsity guys, all our ones and backups and everybody, you know, will get to play a good bit in it, and hopefully it's gonna be helpful.
Talk about your overall numbers. What are you looking at starting the season with this season, Coach?
Well, as I read it on that paper, it says 69, but I can't figure out where about 7 or 8 of them are, so, you know, I guess we're down to 61. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You mentioned your quarterback. Who is he? Can you tell us, or is that a secret?
Yes, sir, I can tell you.
Okay.
He's Jared Daltrey.
What grade is he? Tell us a little bit about him.
He's a junior.
Talk about Jared Darcy's development. You know, he was behind Colton Wood last year, and learned a lot from him.
Yes, sir.
So, talk about his development.
Well, you know, you could see that. And that Colton was a good one to learn from, you know, and they spent a lot of time together. You could see Jarrett coming on. Back in, you know, those weeks that you kind of didn't know from day to day who was going to start. You know, Jarrett actually did get a start year before last, and he did well. And every time we've put him in there, he's responded, and he's made plays, and we expect that that's just going to increase.
And, you know, he's like 6'4", so, you know, he don't have a tall line to look over like the other quarterbacks, so that, you know, that's gonna be a.
Well, I don't know. There's possibly a 6'5" going to be up there, and, you know, don't know if he's quite 6'4" now, but he's that will help. You know, his height will be an advantage, you know, and he's got the good arm, live arm, and but it better be alive, you know. We're gonna be limited on time sometimes, I think.
Coach, is your team ram tough this season?
I hope so.
All right.
I love that, don't you?
Dorian Smith, E.J. King, Ty Goodwill, Christian Burnett, that's a good offensive arsenal. How you gonna be able to get all those kids the ball?
Well, you won't get it but one of them at a time, that's for sure. You know, sometimes when you got those, you do get to test your insides, your patience. What will they do on those plays if they don't have it? Now, I believe every one of those guys you mentioned, you know, and there's some more of them. You didn't name them all, and I'm not going to start because I would forget one, and I would be, you know, really, really embarrassed and sorry about that. But I will say that all our kids, I think, team players. You know, they understand. You know, they got a role to play every play, and it's not always with the ball in your hands.
That's a good problem to have, though, Coach.
It is.
Yes, sir.
It is.
Coach, you had Smart going both ways last year, defense and offense. You have anybody special like that this year?
Well, yes, sir, about a half a dozen, because we don't have but about 5 guys maybe on each side of the ball that get to rest. Know they're gonna get half the time on the sideline. We don't have that luxury. You named a lot of good ones, but all those good ones have to go play both ways. I mean, because nobody has emerged yet who, if you took a tired one of those out, he would help you more. Those guys can play tired. They've proven it. This summer, if you were out there this summer and you still around, you are round tough. I'm telling you, it was pretty brutal. I can say, I look back over a lot of summers, and I believe this was the hottest one ever in June. So maybe we're gonna have a cool July and August, don't you imagine?
Yes, sir.
Amen, amen. We looking for it, Coach.
Coach, talk about Christian a little bit and what you see in him.
Well, Christian's one of those. I could think back, had a lot of great running backs on the teams that I've been lucky enough to coach, and he wouldn't take a back seat to any of them. I mean, he's a do-it-all back, and I don't want to embarrass him or anything, but Christian's not just 100% on the field. He's 100% in the classroom and in his spiritual life and all those things. They come along once in a while, and I say Damari's there. He's like that, but we got some more at the house, but still they are rare, and we all could learn something from him, but he's getting a few looks, and he's ready. I hope to have a great senior year.
Coach, before you get out of here, we know you had a few wins under your belt. Talk to us about the state of high school football. What do you see? Are you happy? Or are you a little sad? Or a lot going on with different things?
I'm concerned. We've had a chance to have a little experience with this stuff, and sometimes I think maybe we were the guinea pig. And I can tell you, folks better wake up if they love high school football, because at the NCAA level, they're not doing anything to help us keep it like it has always been. And I don't know what else to say about it. Kids, my heart goes out to them, and I do think that football is going to suffer from it more than most sports, although basketball is suffering too. So high school sports is kind of taking some hits right now. People have forgotten what some of these rulings and the portal and all that. They forgot to say, what's that going to do to our feeder system? And college football don't have another feeding system. So you'd think they'd at least given it a thought, but apparently they had bigger and better things to think about, and they're thinking in the here and now. They wasn't thinking about what's going to happen 5 years from now.
The excitement you guys had over the past few years, what about the new additions to the field? That generate more excitement?
Say that again.
Your new additions to the field with the rearrange of the buildings, the player wall, is that generating?
Oh yeah, you like that? We like it, I guess. Y'all look at it? Yes, okay. Yeah, look at it, okay. They like it. It's pretty, I know that. It makes it look better. Sure does. One I like it. Some of y'all know better than I do, but I spend a little bit of time up there about every other week, and I like our press box. You know, we did good on that one.
Coach, one thing that kind of gave y'all a little bit of a headache last season was the kicking game. Any plan on rectifying that? Have you come up with any players, you know, who've been shown that they can be more consistent, you know, especially on field goals and extra points?
Well, you know how it's hard to get equipment nowadays. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna order it and tell them to send me whatever kicking shoes available. And whoever it fits the best, we're gonna let him kick.
One way to look at it.
No, we really, the reason it looks like we're not real good at it is because it shows up to bite us at the most inopportune times. So it's not that we don't have some good ones, have had, you know, we are, this time it's, you know, it's still a work in progress. But we spend a lot of time in special teams, and, you know, we'll figure something out, you know. But we feel pretty good about some parts of it. Some, you know, we still kind of scratching the surface looking.
All right, Coach, you want to get your guys up there?
Okay.
Either one, Christian, you want to go first? Yeah, you can sit there, wherever you want to. Go. Be fine. Yeah, easy getting up there. Christian, talk about how excited you are for this season, what you hope to prove.
Well, it is my senior season, so obviously I'm very excited for it. I think our team this year is going to do very well. And honestly, my only goal is just up my pop off, 2,000 plus yards. Hopefully, definitely got to be 20 plus touchdowns. With the help of my lineman right here, I think we can get it done.
I know you had to buy your linemen some donuts last year. How many dozen of donuts will you be looking to buy your linemen this year?
Personally, I wouldn't mind if they empty my wallet with all them donuts. 150 yards every game, and they get donuts. They know it.
Do they prefer licking good or Krispy Kreme?
What is your biggest strength in your game? What have you think that you improved upon in this all season, going into your senior year, looking at your huddle film, looking at your film, saying this is an aspect that I know I can improve upon to make my game next level?
Definitely my flexibility. Since I had a couple injuries that I had to come back from, and I had to work on flexibility, I think this year I'm gonna be able to sink a lot lower on my hips, be more mobile side to side. I think I've improved in that game a lot.
I was at the Baker 7-on-7 and watch you on the sideline, and you was motivating everybody when they came in and came out. What type of leadership role are you gonna take for this team?
I think the best thing I can do as a team is lead by example. So once that ball gets in my hands, to be that spark that lights a flame and make that play, to punch through, I think that's the best thing I do.
Kind of pose the same question you I did for Coach. You guys got a 9-team region, and you open it up with 4 back to back to back to back. Not to look too far down the line, but what expectations are you putting on yourself to hit one of those region games? I mean, you coming out the gate hitting.
I've always been a player personally. It never really mattered who lined up on the other side of the field. I'm going to take you with all due respect, and I'm going to watch film, do my research, and go out and play as hard as I can. It never really mattered to me your record at the end of the day. They still bleed the same blood I do. Nobody likes losing.
Will you be playing both sides of the ball?
I expect to play both sides. Yes.
Which do you prefer?
Definitely the offensive side, but the defense has its sparks. I have fun over there a lot.
Christian, being a versatile player like you are, what do you think that does for your stock for, you know, going to play at the next level?
I do think it makes me more of a marketing thing. I can be used more if I'm more versatile. It's a lot harder with this portal and all the NIL deals, but I think I'll still be able to find someone to call on.
Now, who's been calling you or showing interest since your junior year? I know you had a couple of schools show a lot of interest. Who's continuing to show interest you at this point in time?
In the beginning, I had a couple big schools like Georgia and Auburn and them, but they just kind of fell off. The ones I think really stayed true to me so far are Bama's been talking to me the whole time, never stopped. Dartmouth talks to me a lot, and LCU has given me my first offer, and I respect them a lot for it.
Go inside the helmet when you're getting ready for game day. What are you listening to? Who are some of your favorite musical artists? You can spell them if you need to. Some of the other folks.
Very wide range of music tastes.
Okay.
I go anywhere from, I might be placing Young Boy sometimes, or I might be listening to Rio. It depends on how I feel for real. Just got to loosen up, try to stay loose before the game.
Mm-hmm.
What's your game you have circled this year?
I don't got one. Everyone's circled for real. They're all targets.
All right, thank you, Christian. Mark? Damare?
Yes, sir.
Damare, how you doing, Damare?
Good. How you doing?
Good, man. Talk about your goals for the year.
I think my goals for the year is just to play as hard as I can and be the best leader and be the best football player I can be for the team this year.
I saw, matter of fact, when I was pulling in the parking lot, the offensive lineman was out there, on the field, and you was out there helping the coach. What type of role are you helping develop the younger offensive lineman?
I think I got to lead. I think I have to lead by example and by voice because we are young. Like the line is young, but we have a lot of good players this year. So what I have to do is lead by example and voice, just to show them, give them the spark with what they need to do, and hopefully follow my road.
Now, there was recently an online camp. You hear about the 7-on-7. It's for skilled players. When are they going to start considering offensive linemen skilled players?
That's a good question. I think that we just need as offensive linemen as a whole, just need just go and put ourselves out there more, on social media and everything, and just keep going to camps and just show what we can do, because we are one of the most important positions on the ball. So, yeah.
If Christian gets 147 yards, can you round up and get them donuts, or is that?
Nah.
It gotta be 150.
It has to be 150.
Talk about Coach French over there and his impact on you. 3 words. Well, how would you describe Coach French if someone asked you to talk about it?
Tough, respectable, and a great leader. That's the best 3 words I can say about Coach French. And a father figure for most of the players on the team.
Dorian Smith, I know you don't get a lot of pull. What would you have to say about Dorian Smith?
He's a great player. He's a great person in general, honestly. He works hard. He motivates people. He's one of the best leaders on the team. I mean, we love Dorian, and I don't know. He's just that good. He's just that good of a player.
How good is Christian?
It's the same way. We've been playing together for I don't know how long, and he's the person that motivates me the most on the team, basically.
Because of the donuts?
Not. It's before the donuts.
Oh,
You were able to make history at Faith Academy. You guys had a couple of home games. Talk about what Faith Academy means to you and the atmosphere that is created and generated when you guys come out and run out every Friday night out there at Grant Field.
I feel like Faith Academy has the best fan base out of all the schools down here in Mobile. It's like even at home games, away games, we still have a large crowd and everything. So I feel like the atmosphere in any game that we play is good. For the crowd is amazing, and Faith Academy is amazing too.
What goes through your mind on 3rd down when you hear those cowbells?
I mean, my mindset for that is I have to go out and represent for the fans, so I have to put on a show for the fans. And so I gotta put in my best ability and make sure I do everything I can to get the first down.
All right, Coach, guys, thanks a lot. Have a good season.
Thank you.